Hello and welcome back to the Retail Cafe. We are now open for business. Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and we'll get started. Our first story comes from Venus 2630. Customer thought we told him to park inside. Huh. Okay. That's an interesting start. For context, I work at a home improvement store a few years ago, and one of my favorite memories was a customer who was told that we would meet him at the front of the store to bring his items out since they were heavy. All of a sudden, I see this pickup truck try to drive through the sliding electronic doors, but he can't fit his truck quite through all of the way because it's too narrow. When asked why he decided to do this, he said he thought that meant he should drive his truck up to the registers. I wish I was making this up. Apparently, this is a common occurrence according to my managers, since there used to be a lumber yard type of drive through. Okay, this was 13 hours ago. And I do want to make one statement. Where's your common sense? Just saying. You, I get that they used to have a lumberjack drive-through, but that doesn't mean they have one anymore. Also, you can see that the car's not going to fit through the doors. So what? What? Aha! Interesting. Interesting. I, I, okay. I'll rate this a 3 out of 5 because this is a potentially dangerous situation. A and B, a lot of damage, and C, no common sense whatsoever. Um, I'm gonna drink my tea, and yes, guys, today I have tea. I don't have coffee. I have tea. I ordered myself some tea. Okay, I know, what a shocker. Normally I have coffee. What's going on? Oh, that tastes so nice. I think this is the best rooibos tea I've ever had. And my gran bought it. Hmm. Other than I don't get that comment. Okay, but anyway, moving on to our medium story. Yes, I have still. Oh, this story was posted 13 hours ago. I know I didn't put the links for last week's stories in my video. I do apologize. That will be fixed. But this week the links to the stories will be in chat. Okay. Moving on from that disaster to a medium story, which is brought to you by The Working Sea, Tales from Retails. When a thief got too greedy. Ooh, I like that one. I don't know where that came from. So I work in retail, duh. And for those like me, there is nothing more annoying than a thief. This was posted 2 days ago. Coming into your store and stealing a lot of items without being noticed before it's too late. Except for maybe annoying customers. But to each their own. Yeah, I think these are the most annoying people to deal with. But last night was a once in a lifetime experience for me in the past 3 years I've been working retail. It all began when a shoplifter came into my store and began to steal a bunch of items, starting with some fragrances. I know that because he ripped the tamper tag on it near me, but I wasn't able to set it in time. I did, however, keep him in mind after seeing him walk around without items and continuously grabbing more. When he eventually left when I wasn't looking, I asked my colleague in the front who said he didn't see the guy pay for anything, and after reviewing the cameras, I saw him crystal clear as day stealing by shoving items into his bags and clothing. Unfortunately, when I did see it on the camera, several minutes had passed, so no doubt he should have been long gone. Yeah, I would rate this a 4 out of 5 because no. Which sucks because from what I saw, he grabbed a lot, and having a blatant thief on your shift when you're the mod, never fun. Because when you've got to explain to your boss why neither of you nor your coworker caught or noticed the guy, but I still called the non-emergency police line because I needed a police report for the report I had to make for LP. But then, by the grace of God, while I was in the middle of finding out what he stole, this guy got a little greedy. And how so? He came back for more. Oh, goody! I kid you not. He thought he could steal from us once and came back about 30 to 40 minutes later and steal from us again. The moment I spotted him walking back into the store, my eyes lit up. I ran into our stockroom and called 911 immediately and explained the situation, causing them to send officers faster. And thankfully they did, because soon after the guy dipped again, they showed up and managed to grab the guy since he was on foot. I got every single item he stole back, amounting to nearly $200, and got him arrested as my boss wanted to press charges. Of course. What was surprising was the fact that my store wasn't the only one he stole from, because he had several items that were not in my store's system and were locked up in a way he could not get to them. Overall, I was dying laughing and celebrating that the guy got greedy, because it meant I got all the stuff back and he would get in trouble. My boss was pretty happy too. I will rate this a 1 out of 5 because the situation got resolved. Yes, it is frustrating when you open up a store or you have a small business, or even if you're a bigger business, and people come in and they steal from you, and then you have to you actually pay more because now you have to pay for an insurance for theft, so it's annoying. It costs more, which means you have to up the it's absolutely insane. It is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah. This one, this one's got more stories added onto them. You know what? If you guys want me to do a little detour on this, then I will definitely come back to this story. But if you guys want me to do a detour on similar stories to what's her name? To the working C, please let me know and put in the comments detour and I'll know exactly what you're talking about. And if not, I can always look back at this video and be, that's what they were talking about. But yeah, no, definitely. There's like just more stories underneath in the comments. So if you guys want me to go through that, please comment detour in the comments. Okay, but that's when a thief got too greedy. Now, let me rate this properly. Again, I rate this a 1 out of 5 because the situation got resolved. Because, okay, this time the guy came back. If the guy didn't come back, I would have rated this a 4 out of 5 because it's really annoying to deal with. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of anxiety. Then you got to deal with the bosses and upper management. And it's just, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And then you got the police coming in, and now customers asking questions. It's a lot to deal with. That's why I rated a 4 out of 5. So yeah, with that being said, how I would have handled this situation? I would have most likely handled the situation according to store policies, or according to how my contract says to handle the situation. I would have had, because like I said, every single store policy is different. Every employee contract is different depending which company you work under or anything like that. Each one has got a different set of contracts, set of rules, set of policies, and stuff like that. So I would have followed the store's policy on how to handle the situation, and that's how I would have handled the situation. And I would have had a word with my colleague because you saw this guy stealing. How can you just let him walk out? Why didn't you phone the police? You know? So there's that as well, because it just seems like her coworker didn't care. So that's my 2 cents on it. What do you guys think of this story? Would you have handled it any differently if the guy didn't come back? How would you have handled the situation? But in this case, the guy came back and they were able to get their stock back and they were able to get the guy arrested. So happy ending all around, except for the thief. Okay, so that is the when a thief got too greedy. I definitely like that one. I like that one. Okay, so now that's a medium story, but that's for next week. And then our third and last story for this week is a long story posted 14 days ago. I don't know why I said ago. Posted 14 days ago. And this one is by Half Circle Raider. Customer threatens to F me up because I do not give him a discount on Elden Ring. Again, common sense. It's common sense. Oh, we've got a theme this week. Where is common sense? Common sense, where did you go? Something along those lines. But we got a theme. We got a theme this week. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, so anyway, moving on to our long story by Hair Circle Raider. I think I'm pronouncing your name right. I've already given the title. Let's get into the story. Hi, I haven't posted in a while. Oh, you've posted before. I don't remember seeing your name in a while. Yeah, I am not the best at explaining, but I will try and tell what happened to me a few days ago. Okay. I, alongside some partners, run a used video game store like other stores of my new of oh la 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 like other stores of my type. We do the buy sell trade aspect that brings product. However, some people cling on to the buy and trade aspect kinda hard. This customer has come before, but I will only focus on what happened with this situation. Specifically, he called asking if we got any new PS4 games. I told him we have gotten new ones, but since I was dealing with online business and we get new stuff in all the time, I am not sure specifically what is new. But I asked him what he was looking for. I can't remember which game he asked for, but I remember we didn't. He asked me to literally go through our entire PS4 stock, and I told him I have other customers in the store and I can't. And he began calling me a liar on the phone, saying he knows I am not busy and he is a store owner too, and begins telling me that from store owner to store owner, I am unprofessional. I don't know how he thinks he knew I wasn't busy. That was strange, but he then said he will check our website to see what we have. We do have a website, and I guess this dude is obsessive. I don't want to say too much, but he always trades, and it is literally the only way he has ever gotten games from us. I am guessing that the trade aspect means enough to him that he researched us, but this is all just speculation. Yeah, that's weird. That's my question. How do you know she's not busy? You on the phone. Are you acting like some creepy stalker, just, staring through a window where nobody can see you? Or do you have, I don't know, cameras in there or a spy in the store? How do you know they're not busy if you're on the phone and you're nowhere near the store? That doesn't make any sense to me. What I'm confused as some people. So Literally minutes after hanging up, he called again and said we had Elden Ring and asked if it was still 30. I told him to let me check right quick just to make sure because our website has allowed orders that it shouldn't. After I verified we had it, he said he wants to sell back 2 games he bought from us, and I bumped it up and it ended up being 14. And he began randomly mentioning $6. I asked him why does he keep saying $6, and he said he already has store credits. Okay, I told him I don't know exactly what the tax will add, but it is about a 10 something dollar difference. And he got annoyed and he asked if he traded another game which could offer 5, and I told him it would be a 5 something dollar difference. He began getting even more annoyed and told us that the trade-ins are his best offer and we should lower the price so he could get it. He began saying we lowered prices for him before. Not sure what he said was true, but we don't just lower prices for no reason. He was getting more agitated and told us he isn't trying to spend any money, and after some more attempts to get us to lower our prices, he said he saw we had God of War on PS4 on our website. We do. He asked if he could trade the first 2 games for it, so I told him there was a bit of a difference. Then he said he thought I said we had 20 and began talking over me, so I told him if he let me explain, he was getting 14 for the first 2 games and 6 for the store credits. But while I spoke, he just got angry, saying I was pissing him off, that he was going to F with my store anymore. I wasn't going to F with my store anymore. And he was going to come to my store to F me up. Yeah, call the cops, get a restraining order. That is no, threatening violence over a video game is insane to me. You call the cops and you be like, hey, listen, one of my customers just threatened to F me up. I don't know if he means it, but it's still a violent threat over a stupid video game. $5 for a video game and you want to F somebody up because you're not getting it for free? What? Okay. Hopefully I read that right and I did the math right. If not, please let me know. I did call the non-emergency police to report what happened, and I was told I was going to be called by an officer. Didn't happen, and the person did come. My partner did talk to him, and the customer apologized and said his mom, grown adult by the way, told him he was wrong for how he acted. We try not to kick people out and we have thick skin, so my partner told him that last parts will not be tolerated again. We have only ever kicked 2 people out of the store for extreme reasons. He did trade those games and got God of War and even admitted he understood the store credit stuff and just claimed he was having a bad day. Hours later, an officer did arrive to ask us about the situation. Nothing came of that. I would rate that a very high out of 5. Like, not a 5 out of 5 because there was no physical damages done, but because there was a threat of violence, I would still rate that either 3 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. But a grown ass man having to be told by his mother that he overreacted and what he did wasn't right is insane to me. You are a grown adult. Why do you need your mother to still parent you as a grown adult over a video game and a couple of dollars? Can somebody please just can we please get common sense back? Just can we please get common sense back? I'm asking for a friend, actually asking for society as a whole. The more I think the more society see, this story is so bad it broke my brain that I don't even know how to English anymore. Okay, who's breathe, breathe. Okay, Now that we have breathed, now we can get our thoughts out. Ooh. Okay. I believe that if society gains more common sense, then we will have less issues like such as this. And maybe, just maybe, looting and violence and people, I don't know, getting upset over facts, just maybe that won't happen as much. Just, just the thoughts. Just the thoughts. I can't. That is this week's stories. I'm gonna go. We're closed. I can't. I can't. My head hurts. My head hurts so much.